is Cinco de Mayo 2018. We welcome you to SunTrust Park, where another sellout crowd is gathered for Game 2 of our 3-game set. The San Francisco Giants are in town. Freddie Freeman got things going for Atlanta last night. Nick Markakis, the league's leading hitter, homered as well. But sadly, the Giants won Game 1 of the series. Atlanta tries to get even tonight behind Brandon McCarthy. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Brandon McCarthy is off to quite a roll. Ironically enough, it's Cinco de Mayo. He goes for win number Cinco against the Giants today.
He's been out of the return in the trade for Matt Kemp. He's been the most dynamic, certainly, and he's a veteran who knows how to pitch, and he's getting some run support. And add all that together, and he's 4-0. He's beaten some good teams, some good hitting teams. Some you're seeing right here. He's always had the good curveball, but this year he's spotting that fastball and he's getting it to sink. He's cutting it a little bit. He is working both sides of the plate. He's working all parts of the strike zone. 4-0. He's getting 7.5 runs of support. That's the most in the National League. That never hurts. And he's done real well after a Braves loss. Let's hope he can follow that tonight with a good win.
By the way, I caught that. The Cinco de Mayo for Brandon McCarthy. Hopefully that'll be working today against Ty Block. He is the Giants starter in Game 2 of the series. As you know, Atlanta's offense leads the National League in hitting. Sal Fasano leads the world in great penmanship. He's the man behind the beautiful Braves lineup cards. And Kelsey Winger talks to Sal about his artistry as we continue from Atlanta. Game 2, Braves and Giants next.
And welcome back into SunTrust Park as we lead you up to Game 2 versus the Giants. The Braves trying to even the series with Brandon McCarthy on the mound. And the Braves lineup has been getting a lot of attention recently, and a lot of that has to do with Brian Snitker making some changes, and it's been performing. But that's not the only reason it's been looking so good this season, and catching coach Sal Fasano has a lot to do with it. In his own words, he says he looks like a motorcycle gang member, but he can write really pretty. So English wasn't Sal's first language. Italian was. So in order to practice English, he had to master the alphabet. And to read his own writing, it had to be neat. And that's how this all began. So every day he gets to the ballpark in the morning to work out, work on scouting reports. Then he puts on some heavy metal music and spends 30 to 45 minutes writing the lineup card. Now, he never took any classes on calligraphy. He's picked this up in his 8 years of practicing this. And in the off season, he'll pick up the skill by making gifts for family and friends, and even players ask him to do stuff. He's currently working on something for Peter Moylan because Peter wanted him to recreate his first save and his first win. And something else that he said is, if you're a big leaguer, then your name needs to look big league, and he makes sure that all of these names do. So today, the Braves hope that the lineup will continue to play as great as it's looked, as they're about to take the field for Game 2 versus the Giants. Brandon McCarthy back out on the mound in SunTrust Park. We have Game 2, Giants and Braves, coming up next.
And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Mostly cloudy skies tonight in Atlanta as the Braves and Giants hook up. This is Game 2 of our series between the Braves and the San Francisco Giants. Bruce Bochy's ball club came to town playing really good baseball. They had won 8 of 11 before winning last night 9-4. And Bruce Bochy's ball club now 4 games out of first in the National League West. Here's his Toyota starting lineup, and he shuffled some things around. Gregor Blanco, the former Brave, leads off. Gorkys Hernandez, another former Brave, will hit 8th. Ty Block is on the mound, as is Brandon McCarthy, Joe, and he's off to a perfect start.
34 years old, 6'8", 225 out of Colorado Springs. Pretty good splits here. He's been working those lefties over with that good sinker and changeup down and away. He's given up 3 homers to him on mistakes, but otherwise he's pitched real well and worked everything around all quadrants of the strike zone. That leads us to his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. He's got to locate his fastball. We saw last night what happens with this ball club. They're a good fastball hitting team, the Giants, up and down. So you got to locate it tonight, get it to move. And there are places to move with the adjustment you just mentioned in the lineup, Chip. There are some guys at the bottom of the order that he can go if he gets in some trouble after you get past Crawford, where he might need to go to get some outs if he gets in trouble.
Any explanation as to why Brandon's had so much trouble against the Giants? He's pitched so well for the Braves, but historically the Giants have been a team that's really hit him pretty hard consistently.
I don't know, since we haven't seen him that much before he got here, you know, I don't know if he was having trouble with that sinker because he's such a good ground ball pitcher. Maybe those were just days where he couldn't get the ball to sink.
Well, hopefully it will sink on Cinco de Mayo.
God, you're on fire.
That's just the guacamole. Here's Gregor Blanco, and the first pitch to him is downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. 75 degrees, very comfortable night. Had some sunshine peeking through the clouds about 45 minutes ago. A little overcast as we meet the Giants here in game 2. Gregor Blanco had a big hit last night, a 2-run triple in the 2nd inning, part of the Giants' 6-run uprising against Mike Fultonevich. And there's Brandon's first strike. Greg Gibson has home plate tonight. Braves are catching the Giants at a bad time. They've won 9 of 12 games. They've scored 64 runs in their last 12. Swing and a miss. And
93 in a way.
One of his best fastballs of the year right there. And a line drive to left. Acuna with good closing speed handles that sinking drive to left. And McCarthy gets Blanco, and we are underway. Here's Andrew McCutchen. 2 walks, a single, and a run scored for McCutchen, former MVP. He reached base 3 more times last night. That gives him a run of 15 consecutive games, reaching base with a hit or a walk.
Yeah, great on base percentage over that stretch too.
They got a scare the other day on Wednesday when McCutchen was hit on the left elbow. They weren't sure if he was going to be okay or not, but a day off did him some good. You see the protective device on that left arm. And the Giants are banking on McCutchen being a big-time offensive upgrade for them, especially in the power department, which was sorely lacking for San Francisco last year.
Check out his grip. It's not quite a split grip, but it's certainly in his fingers on the right hand.
Little roller hit to the right side, and he beats the shift with a 1-1 count. McCutchen guides a single to right field, and he's aboard with 1 out.
I would say he was trying to do that. Kind of got jammed, hit the ball hard to right field last night one other time.
Smart baseball. He took what the Braves gave him, and now he sets it up for Posey, Belton, Longoria, the 3 thumpers in the middle of the San Francisco order. And all about Buster Posey, the Leesburg, Georgia native. 2 more hits against the Braves last night. He drove in his 21st career run against Atlanta in 95 career at bats. As Joe mentioned, one of the things that makes Posey such a talented hitter is he rarely strikes out. Only 12 times so far this year. 12 out of 96 at bats. And fouled away for an even count. San Francisco 17-15 on the year. With Arizona slumping and losing 3 straight, all of a sudden the Giants are becoming very relevant in the National League West. As I said, they're only 4 games out of first place. And they're doing this without Pence, without Bumgarner, without Cueto. An injury-riddled month plus. That hit the side of the mound. Funny hop. Ozzie stayed with it. Camargo. Big arm. Got his man at first. That was an unbelievably difficult double play. Albies to Camargo to Freeman. Look at this tricky hop.
Great feed.
Giants out of luck in the first. Here come the Braves against Ty Blach. Good job at second base. Look at him stay with this funny hop.
Hit right on the lip of the grass and caused it to kick back toward the bag. Great feed to Camargo here as he's racing across the base. That's a beauty.
And he had to avoid Jordan Baker, who was darting away too. That was some great coordination by Ozzie Albies, who leads off for Atlanta on the Toyota starting nine.
That's the 7th double play induced by McCarthy. That's tied for the most in the National League.
So Atlanta's offense has been awfully good this year. Hopefully it will be against Ty Blach, a man that beat the Braves last May 27th. He gave up 2 runs in 7 2/3 innings.
This is a weird split here. He has beaten up on the Dodgers in 3 starts, but everybody else has worn him out.
I like that second set of numbers better than the first.
Well, he's a good pitcher. 88, 89 to 91. He doesn't overpower you, but he's got a good change and curveball. He's only allowed 2 homers.
Braves have been very good in the first inning. They've scored 34 opening inning runs. And a line drive hammered toward the gap in left center. Long run, Borges Hernandez. He's going to cut it off before the track, but helmet flying. Ozzie stands at second with a leadoff double. Joe, his first inning heroics continue tonight.
And the Braves fans get a chance to enjoy it. Instead of it all happening on the road, he's doing some of this at home, and the fans love it. Ooh, boy, he picked on a high fastball there. Leveled off on it. Hernandez has great speed and cut it off, but no way he's going to keep Ozzie out from getting to second base. Good start again.
That's his 16th first inning hit. 9 of them extra bases, including 5 homers.
Wow.
And now Ronald Acuna skies one out of play and foul for strike 1. Acuna wore an 0 for 4 last night, but don't tell that to the Giants. He hit 3 balls right on the button, 108, 112 miles an hour or so. And that opened up everybody's eyes in that Giants dugout. See if he can get Ozzie moved up here with Freddie Freeman waiting on deck. And that's outside, even count. Acuna hitting .342. Couple of homers, 5 runs batted in. Ground ball hit to Crawford. He's going to make the throw to first. Risky play by Albies, but it paid off. He got there. And it's a productive out for Acuna. Freddie Freeman coming up.
Risky in this regard that it was to his right, to Ozzy's right. And anytime a ball's hit to your right, kind of coached to stay there. But he was braking before the ball ever got to him. He was already going. He just had to dodge the baseball. Crawford knew he didn't have much of a play. Smart base running, aggressive base running.
From day one of spring training, that's been preached to the Braves. Here's Freddie Freeman. And a little roller hit toward first. That's soft enough to get the run in. Freeman gets an RBI, his 25th. 35 first inning runs for Atlanta. They strike first. It's 1-0. So Atlanta manufactures a run. And that brings up the league's leading hitter, Nick Markakis.
Well, that's probably the weakest RBI Freddie's received all year long.
Yeah.
And he has Ozzy to thank for it for going to third base on that ground ball.
Nick's the hottest hitter for the Braves, an 11-game streak. 41 hits on the year for Markakis, who got number 41 thanks to a scoring change last night. The Evan Longoria error that was charged in the Atlanta 8th was changed to a base hit. And that's low from Block. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the pitcher's glove. That's going to trickle towards second. Hansen won't have a play. That's how you lead the league in hitting. All the bounces go your way too. Infield hit for Markakis.
When you're hot, baby. You take every one of these. Big breaking ball. And off his glove enough to slow it down.
So Nick continues his good work against left-handed pitching. Kurt Suzuki's up there. He's wearing out southpaws too and hitting .304 for the year.
Braves are hitting .301 against all left-handed pitching. They're the only team in baseball with a 300+ average against lefties, and averaging 7.5 runs a game against left-handed starters.
And that good work is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. The other part of that, Joe, is they don't strike out against lefties. Only 19% of the time have the Braves swung and missed to resolve the at-bat against a left-handed pitcher.
Great numbers.
0-1. And fouled away quickly. 0-2. Boy, early runs have been so important for Brandon McCarthy. He got a bucket full of those in his last start when he beat the Phillies. McCarthy, the first pitcher in the big leagues this year to beat a single team 3 times in this calendar year. And he's been getting almost 8 runs a support a game, as Joe mentioned. He's got 1 to play with tonight. And Suzuki takes upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's been good after a Braves loss. Braves have not lost back-to-back games at home. All adds up to hopefully a good night.
Up and away.
And can justify being in first place.
Exactly right. A race in the East that might come down to a photo finish between Atlanta, New York, Philly, and Washington. 3 games separate the top 4 teams in the National League East. Atlanta's on top by a game and a half. And sharply hit and through by Suzuki. A 2-strike hit for the Braves catcher. And that'll bring up Jose Bautista.
This is a little bit like the first inning in New York Thursday, where the Braves got a run in and it looked like, okay, I think Freddie hit into a fielder's choice, got a run in, and it looked like the inning was going to go quietly. Then all of a sudden, Markakis doubles into the corner, Freddie scores, and Suzuki hits a 2-run homer. They had a 3 spot in the inning.
Well, Bautista could make it 4 if he launches one. The pitch to him is inside. Give me your thoughts on what you saw from Bautista in his Braves debut last night.
As I said last night, I'm kind of focused on his defense, and I thought he did real well. He had the play at the plate. It was really the only play he had to make, and his throw was a little wide, but that was on the run, so there's no way you could be critical of that. It was a good decision on his part.
High, towering fly ball to left. Gregor Blanco comes in, and the Peekaboo Sunshine makes the play, and that retires the side. Atlanta manufactures a run. Freddie brings home Albies. It's 1-0. Moment this season. Get Atlanta Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Big weekend in Atlanta. Big weekend pretty much all over the country, isn't it? Graduation weekend. A lot of high schoolers and college students celebrating their special day, including Joe Killeen, a Georgia grad and a big Braves fan who watches all of our Fox games. We want to send out special congratulations to him, as well as to our colleague Jim Powell. His daughter Allie graduated magna cum laude from Georgia yesterday.
Boy, who are her parents?
Well, we know where she got the brains from.
Yeah.
And that's Jim's lovely wife Emmy. So congratulations to all the grads. As Brandon McCarthy goes to work here in the second, Brandon Belt, Evan Longoria, and Brandon Crawford coming up. That's upstairs for Belt, and an even count. He's reached base 16 straight games. Not surprisingly, this Giants offense flowing because Posey, Belt, Longoria starting to heat up. Longoria especially so after a very slow start with the Giants, who just missed.
And the fact that they're getting on base so much is allowing Longoria and Crawford to clean up behind them.
Giants have hit 33 homers in their first 32 games. That is a hugely improved pace. One of the miseries the Giants had last year, which included injuries, was not a whole lot of power. They only hit 128 homers all year.
Their ballpark partly to blame for that, especially from center field around to the right field wall. You really got to jump on a ball to hit it out.
But I would think the Giants, Joe, have to be absolutely thrilled where they stand right now, considering the injuries they've been through. Mac Williamson is still out. Hunter Pence is still rehabbing. Told you about Cueto and Bumgarner, who's starting to play catch now, by the way. I mean, they really haven't had their team together yet. Here they are, just 4 games out of first, with Arizona beginning to cool just a bit. Get that Giant team put back together and look out. They certainly know how to win, especially that man. A terrific manager, Bruce Bochy. The pitch.
He's fouled off just about everything Brennan has to offer. Got to make a good pitch here. And hopefully nothing middle of the plate in.
Oh, and it just missed.
Oh, he could have gotten that call.
Didn't get it though. Tight zone for Greg Gibson. And Belt reaches with a leadoff walk in front of Evan Longoria.
Right on the line.
Funny, that's a pitch that we saw in New York called an awful lot as a strike. Upper part of the zone.
Yeah.
On the corner. Greg Gibson said no. So here's Longoria, needs a hit for 1,500. 7 homers, 18 RBIs for the former Tampa Bay Ray. Longoria is not going up there looking for ball 4. He has struck out 27 times. He's walked 3 times. And he's behind 0-2. Tampa Bay began their rebuilding program, moving Longoria to San Francisco. They unloaded his large contract and obviously his great talent. Longoria, 32 years old, signed through the 2022 season. And a swing and a miss. McCarthy gets him to chase. There's his first strikeout and the first out of the inning.
Made a good pitch on the slider before that. And took a little off of that one. That was a curveball. Great location there. And we know this guy can hit a fastball.
Yeah. Brandon Crawford is that guy, and he takes a called strike.
He's got an interesting bat. He's got the knob on his bat. Looks a little bit like those days at the end of Barry Bonds' career when he had those big knobs at the bottom of his bat to rest his hand on.
Heavily taped. I think Bonds wrapped a whole roll of tape at the bottom. And Suzuki tried to frame that one deftly, but didn't get the call.
He's up off the end of it too. I think Barry was too. Barry choked up just about an inch or so.
Belt at first. The pitch. Broken bat, little pop into right. That's going to get down for a hit. Ball gets away from Markakis on a funny hop. Crawford's going to try to take second. The throw is going to be late. We saw some funny hops last night that the Giants had a little trouble corralling. A single and an error on Markakis puts runners in scoring position for Alan Hansen now.
A very rare error on Nick Markakis. As Crawford splintered his bat on this one. Nick may have just looked up a little before that went into the glove. I'm telling you, the temperature level under that cap right now is extremely high.
Yeah, if it was about 40 degrees, you'd see the steam.
Yep.
So let's see how the Giants played here with Hansen. Hansen playing second base. Led off last night, had a couple of hits. Tonight against McCarthy, Bruce Bochy drops him to 7th in the order. He's a fast man. The Braves have to be prepared in case Hansen wants to bunt. 1 ball, no strikes. Not butting, and it's out of play. Even count.
Well, this is one of the keys. Places to go. You get in a jam. Bottom part of their order. Hansen doesn't have much experience. He doesn't have many at bats. I know he had 2 hits last night. That gives him 5 in 19 at bats since he got called up. And then you got Yorkis Hernandez on deck, who's 2 for his last 20. And then the pitcher.
Hansen didn't chase. 2 balls and a strike. Braves 1, Giants threatening. McCarthy pitching these Giants hitters very carefully. And a break there. That was a very late, uncertain swing by Hansen.
And it wasn't a strike either. Little two-seamer. There's that little two-seamer thing again. Little two-seamer running away from him, looked like.
Tell you what, the next road trip, we're going to find that elusive little Italian or a big Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
That's the other goal of ours. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Alan Hansen, Belt at third, Crawford at second. Crowd still filing in. Walking around the concourses here at SunTrust Park on a perfect night. Fly ball right center field. That's going to get down and score a couple of runs. Ender fires to second, and Hansen with a 2-strike hit puts the Giants in front, and the error proves costly. 2-1 San Francisco.
Looked like he got a mistake and certainly made the most of it. Target away. Slider, supposed to be a backdoor slider, and instead it was a middle of the plate slider, and he didn't miss it. Second inning's been troublesome, hasn't it?
Sure has. That gives the Giants 8 runs in the second inning in this series. Hansen had 3 RBIs all year. He has 3 in the first 2 games against the Braves. And Gorkys Hernandez fouls the first pitch he sees out of play. Nothing in 1 year count. A walk, a strikeout, a single, an error, and then another base hit by Hansen turns the game to San Francisco's favor. Natural foul, a ball and 2 strikes. I remember that Gorkys Hernandez was a Brave. Atlanta got him from the Tigers with Jair Jurgens for Edgar Renteria after the 2007 season. Then the Braves traded Hernandez with Charlie Morton and Jeff Locke for Nate McLouth. Then Hernandez went to Miami, Kansas City, the White Sox, then was playing in the Mexican League, back to Pittsburgh, and then the Giants signed him as a minor league free agent after the 2015 year. 2-2 pitch. Gorkys now 30 years young. Last year made the opening day roster for the first time as a professional and started 78 games for the Giants.
Filled in for all those injuries.
Full count. Look out. That one's off the screen. Still 3-2. Again off the screen.
Had to throw a lot of pitches to Belt. And now a lot of pitches to Hernandez in an effort to put him away.
Another 3-2 pitch from McCarthy is lined into right field. A base hit, sharply hit, and hit so hard that Hansen unable to score, but he's at third base. They're at the corners, and Ty Block is coming up. And so far, this bottom of the order for the Giants has not cooperated with Brandon McCarthy.
No, they've decided they would get back on track tonight.
Well, Block is up there, 1 for 14 with 5 strikeouts. There's the bunt. Freeman looks the runner back to third. The sacrifice chases Hernandez to second. And now we go to the top of the order. And Gregor Blanco, who lined out to left, is the hitter.
Kind of right back where we were last night, too. You're going to have to make a couple of good pitches here to avoid this turning into a big inning. Braves were unable to do that last night. 6 runs on 5 hits last night.
That was McCarthy's 29th pitch, and it's going to get him out of the soup. All in all, Joe, that's a heck of a job to give up just 2 runs. A leadoff walk, 3 hits, a big error, and San Francisco takes its first lead. Package for you. It's your ticket to 6 fan favorite games, 4 key matchups, and 3 games celebrating soon to be Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. Visit Braves.com/643 for all the details. Making live with 2 in that second inning. It was a heavy workload for Brandon McCarthy. Hopefully the Braves bats will return the second inning favor against Ty Block here. It's now a 2-1 San Francisco game. Johan Camargo starting at shortstop again for Atlanta. If you missed the news last evening, Dansby Swanson placed on the 10-day disabled list with a sore left wrist. So Johan figures to get an extended run of playing time defensively. Batting .280 on the year. Had a hit and 2 walks last night.
Braves made another personnel move in the bullpen. Lucas Sims is back up, and Max Fried went back to Gwinnett. That's not totally unexpected, not because of anything Max did, other than pitch a lot over the last 2 days. He was probably unavailable today, so Braves needed another guy. Might be able to pitch some long relief if needed.
And Brian Snitker said that Max is going to go down to AAA and start. He's a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't like the fact that Max was pitching in mop-up games in the 8th and 9th innings. So young man was starting to figure it out up here, and he will be back. Ground ball on a 3-1 pitch to Crawford at short. He'll load up with that strong arm, and Camargo's retired to start the Atlanta second.
This guy also gets a lot of ground balls. Block, that's the 60th ground ball out behind him. No, there's more than that. He had a couple in the first inning, but he's #1 in the National League in ground ball outs. Good sinker.
He's got 1, 2, 3 ground outs tonight. His mound opponent, Brandon McCarthy, 1 for 12 at the plate. Again, Braves going with their pitcher batting 8th again. Ender Inciarte, the 9th place hitter, waits on deck. Block's got to feel like he's the king of the hill. He's got some run support, something he doesn't often get. Giants just gave him a 2-1 lead. McCarthy sprays one down the right field line and foul, and Brandon now with a 1-2 count.
Block's out of Creighton University, 5th round pick in 2012. Former GM of the Cubs, Jim Hendry, used to be the head coach at Creighton.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Another real good pitcher was at Creighton too. Played basketball there as well. And I think he played for the Harlem Globetrotters briefly. Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. And McCarthy puts it in play. Crawford to his right. Gets rid of it quickly. And there's the second out. Another ground out. McCarthy made Block work a little overtime. Let's see if Ender can start a 2-out rally here in the second inning. Know about the heroics of Freeman and Markakis against left-handed pitching. That's something that hasn't caught up with Ender Inciarte yet this year. Lefties have given him some trouble. He's 4 for 22, a 182 batting average. No time like the present to change that. And he launches the first pitch to left, but right at Blanco, and that retires the side. Easy inning for Ty Blach. He holds a lead. We go to the 3rd.
Here at SunTrust Park. And if you weren't with us yesterday, you may have missed that Brian Snitker officially announced that tomorrow's starting pitcher will be Mike Soroka, making his SunTrust Park debut. He has been starting in place of Anibal Sanchez, and as for Sanchez, he is still on the DL with the right hamstring strain. Snitker said he's doing better, but still day to day, and they're going to reevaluate him after tomorrow. But Chip and Joe, whenever he's ready to come back, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think that's going to depend on how Mike Soroka pitches in Game 3 here tomorrow. That's just a guess.
I can pretty much assure you, Kelsey, it'll be a right-hander.
As McCutcheon takes a strike. Be great to see Soroka back up his remarkable performance against the Mets, where he showed such great poise, command, used all of his weapons as Joe suggested he would. 6 innings of 6-hit 1-run ball. He went toe-to-toe with Noah Syndergaard. And that's the really exciting thing about the Braves franchise, is the embarrassment of riches and options they're going to have with the young pitching they've accumulated via draft and trades. And Soroka, like Max Fried, like Colby Allard and others, beginning to knock on the door at the major leagues, which is the whole point of this rebuild. A cascade of talent potentially that could be appearing soon here at SunTrust Park.
Yeah, I'm really excited he gets to pitch in his home yard.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There's not a manager alive that will tell you that it's a bad thing to have too many good choices.
Pitching depth is one of the primary necessities. Not giving that high strike.
Nope. Brandon's got to make an adjustment. He got 2 strikes quickly. Now it's full to McCutcheon. Posey waits on deck. And Brandon turns it loose. And a ground ball that's going to beat the shift. He's gone to right field twice now in as many at bats. Let's see if the Braves change up how they align McCutcheon here. So he's 2 for 2.
I think I mentioned this on the road trip about an old hitting coach that I had when teams tended to overplay me, overshift me to the opposite field. And he said, that's your fault for not using the whole field. So McCutcheon's kind of taken matters into his own hands, almost like recognizing this is my fault that they're playing me to pull, so I got to do something about it.
And he has with 2 hits. Here's Posey, who hit into a first inning-ending double play. Well, that's just baseball, isn't it? I mean, at least baseball the way it used to be played. 2 strikes, shorten up, hit the ball the other way, try to make solid contact, find a hole. Seeing more and more of that. As this one's lined into center field, Ender will back up, play that one. McCutcheon's going to try to go to third. The throw is going to be late. And Posey luckily didn't move up on that long throw by Ender. Braves got a break there, but it's back-to-back hits for the Giants here in the third.
The ball seems to really be scooting. Kelsey mentioned a light rain falling. I wonder if there's a little bit of skipping off that wet grass. As Ender was trying to give some ground to make sure the ball didn't skip past him. And with a good ball player like McCutcheon, he reads that. He's going to keep going.
Do you as an outfielder get spooked a little bit when you see the funny hops that we've seen in the outfield?
Oh, sure.
The Giants had a couple of those last night. One here for Markakis tonight.
You don't want to overcharge to the point that you can't react to a ball that lands fairly close to you and changes the direction from what you expected.
The Giants doing to the Atlanta pitching staff what the Braves batters have done to their opponents the last couple of weeks. As this one smoked into right field for a hit. McCutcheon will score. Posey's around second. He's on his way. Belt goes halfway between first and second. Now he's in a rundown. Keep an eye on Posey. Freeman runs it to Camargo. There's the tag. And the runner's at third with 1 out. So Belt got a little greedy, but he does pick up a run-scoring hit. Posey all the way around to third base. It's 3-1.
Nice job by the Braves to keep an eye on Posey, but I have a feeling that Ron Wotus is over there at third base saying, hey, you stay here. We're not running into 2 outs here. That's the first out of the inning. Still got a chance to get you in.
Longoria chased a pitch off the plate in the second and is McCarthy's lone strikeout victim so far. 3-1 Giants. Infield comes in. Ball 1. Longoria again looking for hit number 1500. And a fly ball into shallow right. Markakis is coming on. Can't get there. He dives. The ball's behind him. Posey scores. And there's hit number 1500 for Evan Longoria. A run scoring double. And the Giants take a 4-1 lead. 4 straight hits to start the inning.
And he'll take it because it plated a run. And the Giants bench got the attention of McCarthy to toss it over to their dugout. Yeah, I don't know about you, Chip, but watching the Giants offense here the last game plus 2.5 innings, it reminds me a lot of Atlanta and what the Braves have been doing.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9 get on. Feeds 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are again. Belt's been up twice. Longoria's been up twice in the game's first 3 innings. So a rough start again for McCarthy against the San Francisco Giants. That's 42 earned runs now in 36 2/3 career innings against him. And here's Crawford. And a strike. So Evan Longoria halfway to Albert Pujols, who joined the 3,000 hit club last night. Our pal Grant McCauley had a great note earlier tonight. Andrew McCutchen has 1,490 hits. Longoria just got to 1,500. They've combined for 10,700 plus at bats. Albert Pujols has 3,001 hits in 9,800 at bats by himself.
That's pretty good.
That's a great note and a great accomplishment for Albert Pujols of the Los Angeles Angels. 0-2 count for Crawford. Is tipped, but it's in the dirt. Pujols, the 32nd member of the 3,000 hit club, and now one of 4 men in the history of the game with 3,000 or more hits and 600 or more homers. Henry Aaron, Willie Mays, and Alex Rodriguez, the other 3. 0-2 pitch. Pushed him off the plate. Giants have 4 straight hits in the inning. They ran into the only out they've got. And this one will be on the ground to second, and Ozzie will fire to first for out number 2. Longoria is 90 feet away, and here's Hansen again. Hansen with a second inning 2-run double. And that's in for a strike. Right now for McCarthy, he's got to think, okay, I can't give him much more.
No.
And hope that the Braves offense, which has been so good, can continue the great run support McCarthy's been blessed with.
He's got to deal with this just like he dealt with Blanco.
That's hammered down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is, and it's a laser beam. Alan Hansen has hit a home run. A 2-run shot. It's a 4-run inning, and the Giants are pulling away. It's 6-1. 4 RBIs for Hansen tonight.
He was hitting .403 at Fresno with 3 homers. This is his second big league homer with the Giants. And Joe Panic better get back in a hurry.
So a Hansen brother with a slap shot down the right field line makes it a 6-1 game. Hansen's career high in RBIs was 2. He's got 4 in his first 2 at bats tonight. 5th home run given up by McCarthy. 5 hits, 4 runs across here in the third. The pitch. And in at the knees. Atlanta will have the top of the order coming up in the third inning. Albies, Acuna, and Freddie Freeman. They're down 5 runs. And that one's popped to the right side. Funny spin. Albies stayed with it. McCarthy late to the bag. And Gorkis Hernandez will have an infield hit.
Yeah, Brandon didn't jump over there right away. He's not getting the ball on the ground. Brandon was a spectator for too long.
So the Giants already have 10 hits. We're in the third inning. Here's Block, who laid down a sacrifice. Man in the batter's box is one of the poorest supported starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. The Giants have given him less than 2.5 runs per game on average in run support. A lot of that is because he's been the man that usually ends up matching up with Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers, who's very stingy. Tonight, his Giants offense is feasting after 2 2/3 innings.
Yeah, in the place where McCarthy was supposed to go for outs if he got in trouble, they're 4 for 4 with a sacrifice bunt.
And 4 of the 6 RBIs. Seven came to the plate in the second inning. 8 have come to the plate in the third for McCarthy, who's had to work overtime. The 1-2 pitch. He's fouled away again, and action has begun in the Braves bullpen. And it is Lucas Sims. Well, that is one benefit of having your AAA club in the same metro area, isn't it? You need to make a roster move. It's a quick drive to the big league park for Lucas Sims, who's obviously happy to be back.
I think one of the telltale signs for Brandon tonight, all these foul balls, especially from a guy like the pitcher, with all due respect to Block, is that his pitches are up.
Yeah. Well, you said that was one of his keys. Get that sinker working, get movement, get the ball in the grass. As it happened, he just struck out Block, but not before the Giants picked up 4 more runs. They do that on 6 third-inning hits. The big blow, Alan Hansen's 2-run homer, part of his 4 RBI night. 6-1 Giants, top of the order coming up for Atlanta. ball left. Hopefully Atlanta can get something going with Ozzie Albies leading off. He's our Yellowwood brand bringing the lumber feature, and partner, he has been doing that a lot, batting first.
What was opening day? March 29th?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been that way since the season started. But he's been in the leadoff spot for the last 7 games and hasn't slowed down a bit. 11 RBIs in those 7 games, 9 runs scored. You kidding me? That's not leadoff stuff.
No. So Ty Block back to work with a 5-run lead. Albies, Acuna, and Freeman are coming up. All right, take your crack at Ty Block. You've seen him one time through the order now, but you're down 5 runs. What's the Braves' offensive approach against this guy now?
Just start singling him to death. Don't think about trying to get it all back in one at bat with nobody on base and trying to hit a lot of home runs. Just get some guys on base.
$15 walks for Block coming in 37 innings, 40 hits. So he's almost a 2-batter per inning guy for the Giants. But a chase like that helps his cause. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, nice changeup. Ozzie came in hitting .481 against left-handed pitching, and already has a hit.
Rolled over. Crawford backhands, bobbles it. That'll cost him. Thank you very much. You see the effect of speed on a defense. We'll see how it's scored, but you could see Crawford going side saddle to try to hurry to get a fast runner. And it rolled up the heel of his glove, and Atlanta has the leadoff man on after Crawford's 2nd error.
And you're exactly right, Chip. An effort to hurry up. He had no chance if he takes the time to go over, give ground, and get in front of the ball. He had to try and backhand it, plant, and throw. And he's got a good arm. And maybe that's why they charged him an error, thinking he could have thrown him out. I don't think so.
I'm with you. That one might be changed. Acuna smokes one to short. That's off Crawford's chest. 2nd one. First is scooped up, and it gets away. And Acuna's going to take off and head for second as the ball's on the warning track down the right field line. So Acuna hits another missile to a Giant infielder. Luckily for Crawford, it bounced right to his feet to get the force play. But on the throw to first, it gets away from Belt, and Acuna's at second with 1 out.
Crawford took some more punishment.
That ball 112 miles an hour off the bat.
And Belt couldn't handle the short hop. It hit Acuna, and that's what pushed it down the line.
So the Giants with a couple of errors in this 3rd inning. They do get an out, and Freddie Freeman's the batter who has the lone Atlanta RBI.
They had 2 errors last night.
Oh, what a stop. That was a nice block from Block by Buster Posey.
Boy, oh boy. Just put your glove somewhere and hope that it hits it.
Yes. 1 ball, 1 strike. And right there, Freddie took it. Bit of a breeze blowing tonight, gently from left to right. It's kind of circling around back in the hitters' faces. Clouds to our left, bright blue skies off to the right. As Freddie awaits a 1-2 pitch and fought it off. Now the 1-2 is cut on and missed. Freeman didn't get it. That was 80 miles an hour. And 2 are out.
Change up he threw Albies earlier in the inning was 79. And this one was up a little bit right in the middle of the plate.
So a good pitch by Block. Freeman is his first victim via the strikeout. Nick Markakis the batter. Nick an infield hit. His first and only time up so far gives him a 12-game hitting streak. Nick's longest hitting streak is 19 games. That was back in 2011. Fouled away. 1-1 your count.
Just watching Block deliver, at least out of the stretch. That was a fastball, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he comes from his leg kick. If he throws a fastball, he strides what you would say is probably a normal stride and cuts it loose. But if he throws a breaking ball, he cuts it straight off and throws over the front of it.
1 ball, 1 strike for Markakis. And now a ball and 2 strikes. Braves as a team hitting .317 with runners in scoring position. Now the 1-2 is hammered down the right field line and fair. That'll ricochet off the wall. Markakis around first on his way to second. And Nick with a big 2-out, 2-strike hit gets one of those runs back. And now it's Atlanta's turn to cash in a San Francisco error. 25 RBIs for Nick Markakis.
And 2 hits again tonight already. This looked like a breaking ball. Oh, that was the changeup. And he left it even higher than the one to Freddie.
So the Braves are following your advice. They're not getting a lot of singles, but they are putting the ball in play against Block, and the Giants defense has helped them a little bit. Let's see if Suzuki can bring Nick home and cut the lead in half. Kurt is 7 for 16 against lefties. A first inning single already in this game. And it's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Does he throw his changeup enough that you can go up there and look for it?
It depends on how successful he is with it. Right now, yes. He sure can. He's throwing it a lot right now because he got Freddie out with it. He made a good pitch to Ozzie, made Ozzie swing at it and miss. He pitched a great game against the Braves last May. Late May, around Memorial Day, beat the Braves 6-3, and he pitched into the 8th inning. 7 2/3 innings, only gave up 2 runs.
Kurt ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. There's the change. He was looking for it, but it was a beautifully executed pitch.
Yeah, he had a good hack at it. He wasn't fooled.
Now the 2-1. Sharply hit. Longoria makes the play at third. And did he catch it on the fly? No signal was given by any of the umpires. Suzuki stopped running. The throw went over to first base, and it was in plenty of time. So was it a trap? Was it caught on a short hop? Let's take a look.
He caught it.
So that's why Suzuki stopped. So he lines out. The Braves settle for 1 1/3 at 6-2.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
6-2 San Francisco. Back-to-back 29 pitch innings for Brandon McCarthy. And once again, Joey's got the top of the order coming up for the Giants. Blanco, McCutchen, and Posey. Let's see how the Braves approach McCutchen when he comes up after Gregor Blanco, who's 0 for 2.
And get this first guy. Last 2 innings, the leadoff man has reached, and that's got something started. Try to retire Blanco and prevent that from happening.
In case there's any more trouble, there is action in the bullpen. Lucas Sims back up. And off the screen, quickly 0-2 for Blanco.
Well, you know that Brian Snitker wants to keep this game controllable. You know, the Braves got a run back, made it 6-2. It's not out of hand. But any threat of the Giants getting more, he's going to have to make a change.
Little number. That'll help. McCarthy's got it and gets his man for out number 1. The other challenge in a game like this for the manager is, okay, we've got McCarthy coming up third in the bottom of this inning. With all the relief pitchers that major league teams are carrying now, that leaves you with a short bench. The Braves only have 4 extra players. One of them's the catcher, which you're not going to use. So you really only have 3 choices if you decide to pinch hit in the early innings of a game. So we'll see how Brian plays it. Braves still have a shift on for McCutchen, although Albies is creeping right behind the second base bag. That's not where he was the first 2 times Andrew came up.
And he's moving even closer to his normal position.
That's in for a strike. McCutchen is doing his part for the Giants, trying to get their offense going. Been on base the last 16 games with a hit or a walk, with a 2 for 2 night. "13 RBIs. Almost half of those came in one game. He had a 6 RBI game, I think, for the Giants a couple of weeks ago. 3-1 pitch. He is stroked over third and headed for the left field corner. McCutchen's got a 3-hit game. Acuna's in the corner. He'll field it cleanly, and McCutchen stops at second. Braves haven't figured him out.
I remember when he first came up and took over in center field for Nate McLeod. And then we'd heard so many good things about him, about all the things he could do. That wasn't even a strike, and look how he turned on that. Wow, what a good swing. And we were shocked pretty much at his power. You know, that he was a 5-tool guy. Everything we'd heard about him up to that point was that he was an excellent center fielder, could really run, and hit for a pretty good average.
Well, he had 28 home runs last year.
He had a bad year, right?
Yeah. But you know, that was the most home runs he hit since 2012. Posey with a hit. Ender's coming up, ready to throw. His peg to the plate is going to be late. Buster Posey has 2 hits. The Giants add to the lead. And I would think McCarthy is not long for this game at this pace. That's 12 hits, 7 runs, and 1 out in the 4th inning. And I'm right, because here comes Brian Snitker to get Brandon McCarthy. Brandon's pitched great baseball for Atlanta this year, but for whatever reason, the Giants have had his number. We told you, a 7.34 career ERA against him. They've tagged him for 7 in the first 3 innings and a 3rd tonight. So Lucas Sims is going to come on and try to restore some order. San Francisco again with a 5-run lead. favorite games, 4 key matchups in 3 games celebrating Chipper Jones. Braves reps are standing by. Call them now, 404-577-9100. Press option 1. Option 1 in relief tonight for Atlanta is Lucas Sims, just called up today from AAA Gwinnett. And he'll face Brandon Belt with Posey at first. And Sims misses, ball 1.
This is yet another opportunity for Lucas. He pretty much pitched his way off the roster in spring training because he couldn't throw strikes. He walked 4 men in 3 innings his last outing on March 22nd before he was optioned. He got called up after the start of the season, made 1 outing against the Mets, a third of an inning, 2 hits, 3 more walks, and 3 runs allowed in that 1/3 of an inning. Went back to AAA. His first outing against Rochester, he walked 6 in 3 1/3 innings. He's got to improve on that, needless to say.
Meanwhile, the Giants have come to Atlanta and beat up on the Braves starting staff, a starting staff which have been doing such great work. Mike Foltynewicz last night, Brandon McCarthy tonight have combined to pitch 8 innings in this series. They've given up 21 hits and 13 runs to San Francisco. And Sims has come out of the pen and gone 3-1 to Belt. (7-2) San Francisco. We're in the 4th. And now a full count. The Phillies were winners today. They beat Washington by a 3-1 score. Cardinals beat the Cubs 8-6. Those are your National League finals. The Mets are home again and losing again to Colorado. 1-0 Rockies up at Citi Field.
Snap Washington's 6-game winning streak.
And ball 4. Trying to fool Belt with an 80-mile curveball on a 3-2 pitch. And 2 are on with 1 out. And here's Longoria. He's looking for hit number 1501 now. I think I figured out why Washington lost the game. They got Rendon back. He was obviously the problem. After Rendon fouled the ball off his foot, he missed some time. I think he's got a slight crack in his toe, but he's playing through that.
I think they should get rid of him.
Yeah. American League would be good.
I was just thinking someplace within their own division.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, since we know neither one is going to happen, the less unlikely outcome might be the American League, where this guy was a star for so many years. No balls at a strike for Longoria. We will be seeing his former team at the start of our upcoming road trip. Tuesday night, the Braves will take on the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field, and the Rays are playing pretty good baseball. Got some surprising numbers on the Rays for you in a moment. First, Longoria fouls it back. So the Tampa Bay Rays have a .262 team batting average, the 3rd best in baseball.
I did not.
I didn't either. And they're 14-16 on the year entering tonight's action.
7-7 at home.
And winning again at home tonight. 1-2 pitch. That's in at the knees. Longoria didn't think so. And Sims comes back to get his first out. Longoria strikes out, 2 away.
Good pitch, 95 too. Down at the knees. Good zip. That away. Nice bounce back from the walk.
Now get Crawford. 2 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, 1 more here in the 4th for San Fran. Single runs for Atlanta in the 1st and 3rd. Makes it 7-2.
Sims' most recent outing at Charlotte, he got a win. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. A lot of improvement there.
The 1-1 is golf toward the gap in right center. Nobody's going to get that. That's out to the Braves bullpen gate. 1 run scores. Belt's getting the green light. Albies throw to the plate will be late. And Brandon Crawford has a 2-run double, and the Giants are pouring it on again. It's 9-2.
Goodness.
So 8 of the 9 belong to McCarthy. They cash in the first batter walk to Belt as Crawford strokes his 3rd double.
On a changeup. And he was right on it. Almost like he knew what was coming.
So Alan Hansen's the hitter. Crawford has 2 hits. Hansen has 2 hits. Gorkys Hernandez has 2 hits. That's 6 of the 13 for San Fran. Those are their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. They've driven home 6 of their 9 runs. So the lineup changes that Bruce Bochy made and the way he stacked his lineup has worked out perfectly here in game 2 to this point. Hansen didn't get that. 2 balls and a strike. Down the right field line, long run Markakis. He's going to get there, and that retires the side. 3 more runs come home for the Giants. 9-2.
San Francisco on top. Not the case in St. Louis. Our Xfinity game break takes us to a tie game in the 10th, but it was a costly win for the Cardinals. They did end up winning this game. As you can see, the 2-run tater right there goes out of town for Colton Wong, a winner. However, they lose Tommy Pham, Yadier Molina, and Bud Norris to injuries in the game. Still, they have a shot to sweep the Cubs tomorrow, Chip and Joe.
Always a great rivalry, St. Louis and Chicago. And you're right, Jerome, the Cardinals lose Tommy Pham to groin tightness. Yadier Molina hit in the groin on a foul tip on a 102-mile-an-hour pitch. And Bud Norris, who's been named the Cardinal closer, left with tight triceps problems.
They can't find a healthy guy to finish games.
So Jose Bautista leads off for the Braves and takes outside from Ty Blach, who has a 7-run lead after 3.5 innings. Little flare into shallow center is going to drop for Bautista. His second hit with the Braves. There's a start. Third time in 4 innings Atlanta has had the leadoff man on. Let's see if Atlanta can do to the Giants what their offense has done to the Braves in this series.
Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to catch up, though, 1 run at a time. Going to have a big inning or 2 somewhere.
Margot bounced out to short his first time up. That missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Giants coming to town after a very successful homestand that saw them win 7 of 10 games. Now they head east for an extended trip. 3 with the Braves, 4 with the Phillies, 3 in Pittsburgh.
Another changeup on a forced a check swing.
This one's popped up shallow right and right at Andrew McCutchen. And Lucas Sims will hit for himself here. Tough night for Brandon McCarthy. Closed the book on him. 3 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. The bunt is fouled away for a strike. Won't see the Giants again for a while after tomorrow's game. In fact, we won't see them till mid-September when we head to AT&T Park, September 10, 11, 12. The bunt back to the mound, and Block's going to go to second. And that's all the Giants get. He cuts down Bautista, who probably wasn't expecting that throw to second base, but he's forced out, 2 away.
Apparently he didn't think so because he didn't slide. Nice play by Block. Got positioned correctly to field and throw all in one motion. Made the play like an infielder.
So here's Ender. He lined out in his lone at bat. He's 0 for 4 in the series. The pitch. He is in for a strike. It's 0-1. The Giants have 9 runs on 13 hits already tonight. That's over the mound. Hanson at second, throws to first and got it. Bang, bang play. Ender takes a right turn, doesn't argue it. The Braves might take a look. On a very close play, Inciarte's ruled out. Sal Fasano will check with the Braves replay room. And Ender is out. And that'll do it in the Atlanta 4th inning. We go to the 5th. All Giants in game 2.
brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Well, we're obligated to show you that. We'd prefer that it weren't 9-2 San Francisco. Yeah, as we have completed 4 innings. In just a few moments, we'll invite you to stay tuned for the middle of the 7th inning. It's The Stretch, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Pretty sure Jerome and Brian Jordan will be sharing their favorite 7-layer dip recipe for Cinco de Mayo. As Gorky Hernandez leads off and has a base hit. That's 14 Giants hits through 4 innings and 1 batter.
You know, at this point, you'd say, gosh, are they stealing pitches somehow? Are they getting signs? This is only the second game we've seen the Giants. It's not like they've seen any kind of repetitive habit by the Braves pitching, because there's been 3 or 4 or 5 pitchers out there already.
Either that or their advanced scout is Nostradamus.
Good grief.
Hernandez is 3 for 3. And Block is the batter. He's sacrificed and has struck out.
You mentioned the 7th inning stretch from Advance Auto Parts. Braves need Lucas Sims to stretch this out and stay in the ball game. Kind of like Fultonevich was able to be his own relief pitcher last night and work into the work through 5.
Block stabbed at that and didn't get it. 2-1 the count. Dodgers and Padres are tied up 3-3 in the 4th inning. That series being played in Monterrey, Mexico. And what history last night for Los Angeles. If you missed that, the Dodgers threw a combined no-hitter against the Padres yesterday. The first combination no-hitter in the history of the Dodgers franchise. 2-2. And that's butted foul. Block's going to be out. Credit Sims with his 2nd strikeout, and we again go back to the top of the order.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. I'm sure the fans down in Monterrey enjoyed watching that last night.
Well, the good news is the Braves have kept Gregor Blanco under control.
Got that going for him so far.
Yeah. So we've entered at this point the grasping for straws part of the ball game tonight. 9-2. San Francisco the lead. Hernandez leads at first. The pitch. And in for a strike. Sometimes you run into a buzzsaw. The New York Mets found that out when the Braves came to town. Now Atlanta's having the favor returned to them by San Francisco the first 2 nights. The pitch. No swing, even count. A good live heater at 93. And Blanco behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fans have the wave working as it ripples down the right field line toward the pole and the chop house. And now Lucas ready with his 1-2 pitch. It's pulled just foul.
Last year, Lucas got called up, was in 14 games, 10 starts. He went 3-6 with a 5.62 ERA, but there were times where he looked like a guy who was ready to step in and take a spot in the rotation and stay there for a very long time. But the inconsistencies have really hurt him. First round pick in the 2012 draft.
The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Blanco is backing away from that pitch. And Sims has back-to-back strikeouts. So Gregor Blanco 0 for 4. That brings up Andrew McCutchen, who's already 3 for 3. He's hitting for the 4th time. We're in the 5th inning.
He's got some zip tonight. He's had some 95s. Had it 94 right on the inside corner with some late tailing action.
Look at where Albies is playing. McCutchen now. With each succeeding at bat, he is sliding further and further toward the first base bag as McCutchen has hit 2 balls that way and then promptly lined one over the third baseman's head last time up. Jose Bautista nears the line as Sims gets ready for his 1-0 pitch. And now McCutchen gets hit. So McCutchen is plunked. He'll take first, and Posey hits with 2 aboard and 2 outs. Glancing blow off that elbow.
Yeah. That elbow guard surely helped.
One ball, no strikes for Posey. And now he's ahead 2-0. Little roller, that's going to stay foul at third base. It's 2-1.
Buster Posey's fun to watch because he gives you the impression that I don't know if I want to swing, but I might, and then bang. Got such a quick bat and really uses his hands well in his swing.
300 hitter last year for the Giants. That's nothing new. The pitch is hit into left field, a base hit. Here comes Hernandez around third to score. Acuna bobbles the ball. Now runners in between second and third. It's McCutchen. He scrambles back safely. Buster Posey's got 3 hits. Hernandez scores for the first time. And Gerald Dempsey Posey III has 3 hits in the first 5 innings tonight.
Just stays back. He does a great job of staying on that back foot and throwing the barrel of the bat. And that was definitely a case of looking up before you had the ball, but fortunate that it didn't get under him.
Posey hit .320 last year, his highest mark since 2012 when he won the batting title. He became the 11th catcher in the history of the National League with 4 career seasons of a .300 average or higher.
And that's why they've tried real hard and have been successful at protecting him.
A little pop by Brandon Belt. And that'll be put away by Camargo.
By putting him at first base occasionally, he might be out over at first base tomorrow. So to save his legs some.
I'd like him to take the day off. It's 10-2 San Francisco, bottom of the 5th.
The bullpen, and on Tuesday Shane Carl left the game after throwing 2 pitches. He said that he had numbness in his thumb and index finger. Well, yesterday Brian Snitker told us that he did throw a short bullpen session and that it went well. They did say he was available yesterday, but ideally they wanted to stay away from him. So Chip and Joe, as you can see him there getting loose in the bullpen, don't be surprised if we see Shane Carl come back, and that would be great because he has been incredible for the Braves this year.
Agreed, Kelsey. He's had a good arm. He's been attacking the zone. Really fortunate that the injury wasn't serious.
So it's an 8-run hole for Atlanta to try to dig out of tonight. It's 10-2. We're in the home 5th inning. The Giants, with 15 hits, have already set a new 9-inning record this year for most hits. They had 14 of them in a 9-inning game against the Padres May 2nd. They had 17 hits against the Dodgers in 14 innings. So it has been a very rough night for the Braves staff. McCarthy and Sims, who have surrendered 10 runs.
So this has got to be the most in a 6-inning game.
Well, if it was Little League, the Braves would be under the gun.
Yeah.
Down 10-2. Atlanta has 5 hits. Albies led off with a double. The Braves scored their 35th first-inning run on a Freddie Freeman groundout. Their second run came on a Markakis double in the 3rd inning.
Braves aren't used to this. This is what they've been doing to people.
Pop fly over by the Braves dugout. That'll reach the seats. It's 2-2. With an 8-run lead, Block has the luxury to throw whatever he wants whenever he wants to. Let's see what he does with the 2-2. And as he lost the helmet, fouled it away.
Another change up. That's what he got Ozzie to do last time up.
Stratton threw some change-ups last night for the Giants. The Braves had trouble adjusting to. You can understand, I wouldn't want to throw these Braves hitters fastballs either. The 2-2. That's headed for the upper deck. And Ozzie stays alive. Full count.
And you never know. We don't know block well enough, but ahead 10-2, 3-2 count, leadoff batter. You assume he's just going to throw fastballs, but he doesn't.
Change up. That is his second strikeout. Both of them have been on change-ups. He got Freddie Freeman to swing and miss back in the third. Here's Acuna.
Ozzie with a little higher leg kick, certainly anticipating a fastball. No such luck.
Well, Acuna is getting the ball to jump off the bat. He just hasn't been finding many holes lately. No balls and a strike. And another chopper, this one toward Longoria. He'll fire from the third base bag, and Belt helps him out with a nice stretch. 2 outs. And here's Freddie.
Freddie didn't see this guy last year out in San Francisco, or here, I should say, in May, because he was on the DL.
Well, if Stratton and Block can pitch like they've pitched these first 2 games, the Giants will be thrilled because they know Bumgarner's beginning to make his way back. They got Samardzija back. They'll hope for the best with Cueto. But more importantly, Joe, with all these injuries they've had to deal with, they're 2 over 500, and they are certainly a team you have to keep your eyes on out west.
Yeah, they're hitting their stride offensively. They just need some starting pitching to get healthy. They got Samardzija back, like you said. He needs to pitch well.
One-two pitch. I wonder if the Giants would take a chance on Matt Harvey. He was officially designated for assignment today. They have 7 days to trade him or release him. He's already turned down the Mets invitation to go to the minor leagues, which is his right. As that one's hit to the right side. Nice pick. And the strong throw to first retires Freddie Freeman, and the Braves are out in order. Block is qualified for the win. He's got an 8-run lead. Get a limited edition Hank Aaron bobblehead. We've got a couple of them in the booth. We'll show them to you in a moment. Call now. We have Braves reps standing by. Call 404-577-9100 and press option 1. These are good looking bobbleheads, by the way.
Yeah, his from his rookie year.
Yeah,
wearing number 5.
I was going to say that's the historic part of it. I mean, anytime you can get a Hank Aaron bobblehead, that is big league. That's a good looking one too. Well, you always have to put Hank Aaron on a pedestal.
I like it.
See? Bobbles and everything. Love that old 1950s era Braves uniform with the red, white, and blue, and the black tomahawk.
Did they have the little trim on the pockets? Not on the bobblehead. Remember the uniforms that had the little trim on the pocket flaps?
Sharp. Really sharp. Swing and a miss by Longoria, who's down on strikes. Good start for Sims in the 6th inning. He's got 4 strikeouts in relief tonight. Longoria has struck out 3 times, but he did pick up his 1500th big league hit. So yeah, take part in that 643 promo and you'll have that great looking Hank Aaron souvenir to add to your collection. Here's Crawford. He's singled, he's doubled, he's scored, he's knocked in 2, and he's going to swing at the first pitch. Let's see some more of that. Giants up 8, 2 outs. And here's Hansen. Hansen put on the foil twice, a double, a homer, and 4 RBIs. Not sure if he brought his toys with him on the road trip, but he sure brought a big bat tonight.
Yes, he did.
I got a question. How do you put the bobbleheads back in the styrofoam? That is a tricky proposition. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to give this to Joe. Much more experienced at gift wrapping than I am. There you go, buddy.
Foul.
Oh, that sounds about right. 0-2 the count to Hansen. Wait a minute. You just had a huge wedding. I'm sure there were gifts galore that you had to wrap. You're going to hand that off?
Yes.
Oh man, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now back.
Wow, did you see that? Greg Gibson put that ball back in the pocket.
Really?
Yeah, after it fouled back off the screen, he looked at it and said, that's all right.
A little roller right side. Freddie surrounds, flips to Sims, got to the bag. Inning over, 3 up, 3 down. That is the first perfect inning pitched by the Braves tonight. coming up against Ty Block, who has been given a gigantic lead, something he has not enjoyed much this year in his first 7 starts with the Giants.
Hard not to be ranked up high with numbers that Nick's putting up for right fielders.
Well, with 2 hits and 2 tries tonight, he's bumped his average up to 352. That's the current batting average for Markakis. Braves, as you know, lead the National League in batting average. The Giants are 3rd. And there's a 20-point difference between the Braves and the number 2 team. That is incredible. Atlanta hitting 275 as a team. The Pirates 255. The Giants 246. Those are your top 3 hitting clubs in the senior circuit. Ground ball to short. Crawford has plenty of time. Ball bobbled, and a nice recovery by Belt at first. Ball popped out of his glove, and he snatched it out of midair just before Nick got to the bag. That was a lucky bounce.
Vic Carapazza with the call at first base. Braves are going to look at it to see if somehow the ball might have been in midair when Nick crossed the bag. Good call.
So 1 away for Kurt Suzuki. The Braves catcher is 1 for 2. Top hitters in the National League. Markakis first, as Drubal Cabrera second. Adubel Herrera tied with him. Pham Arenado, Freddie Freeman 6th. Bryce Harper leads all National Leaguers in homers with 12. He's first in RBIs. Albies and Freeman tied for second behind Eric Hosmer for most multi-hit games.
Hosmer apparently likes San Diego.
Out of play for Kurt Suzuki. It's an even count. What's not to like? Fouled back. See,
Another good off-speed pitch.
longest Block has gone this year is 6 innings. Bruce Bochy wouldn't mind seeing him stretch out to 7 or more if possible with this big lead. Block proving Jack Morris right. Tough to lose with 10. He's up 10-2. And a little pop right side. Who wants this? Belt says he's got it, but he's called off by Hansen. Nice communication. 2 outs. And here's Batista. Jose is 1 for 2. If you didn't see his article in the Players Tribune, strongly suggest you read it. It was very, very well written, very thoughtful. As Jose released that article yesterday on the eve of his first game in a Major League uniform, not wearing the Blue Jays logo on it in approximately 10 years or more. First pitch swing, hammered straight away center. That ball is to the wall and not deep enough. Borges Hernandez tracks it down. Batista is retired. Block is through 6 with an 8-run lead in game 2. Top of the 7th inning. There's a look inside SunTrust Park on our Xfinity cam. Another big crowd has gathered for game 2 of the series. Expect another large gathering here tomorrow for the series wrap up. Mike Soroka will make his second big league start for the Braves. And as it stands now, it's looking like the Braves will try to salvage 1 out of 3 on this brief 3-game homestand.
I need him to slow these Giants down a little bit.
Marquis Hernandez hasn't slowed down. 3 hits. And in for a strike. I've mentioned a couple times how much I admire Bruce Bochy. His record speaks for itself. He's the only major league manager with 900 or more wins with 2 separate teams in the big leagues. All about the world championships and the steady hand he's had at the helm with San Francisco. Did he go? Yeah, he did. Hernandez is out on a check swing. 1 man down. I thought Bruce Bochy's finest moment as a major league manager really exemplified what a classy guy he is and how much respect he has for the Atlanta Braves in the final game managed by Bobby Cox in the playoffs. When the Giants beat Atlanta, you know, traditionally a team will dogpile in the center of the diamond and shoot and jump and celebrate and yell and scream and be all excited. Almost to a man, Joe. Every single one of their players stopped, turned around, and looked to Bobby Cox in the Braves dugout, tipped their cap, and applauded him as his Hall of Fame career came to an end.
Yeah, that was the players following Bochy's lead. You know, he was the one that was doing that. They saw him. He's a good man. He's a good manager. And they were, the Giants, quick to snap him up when the Padres let him go.
And that's as close to a end of a hockey playoff series handshake at center ice that this sport will see, at least between the white lines.
Yep.
And that was just incredibly classy, and I'm sure at some point some other team will do that for Bruce Bochy when his time at the helm as a major league manager comes to an end, and he would deserve every bit of that gratitude. Nice man. Gregor Blanco 0 for 4 tonight. Seems like in a game like this, there's always one guy in the lineup that wears it. Fairly or unfairly, it's
has to. It's a rule.
It's a rule?
Yep. Baseball gods have a rule. Somebody's got to take an offer.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that missed outside. Lucas is doing a nice job here of soaking up some innings for Atlanta.
Trouble is, you quickly realize that that person is you. And when you're the only one without a hit, you realize it right away.
That's got to be great. You walk into the locker room and everybody says, well, Gregor couldn't have done it with you.
Yeah. John Kruk, talking to him the other day, we were in Philadelphia, said that after a playoff game, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. And one of the writers said, gosh, what will you do now to try to not let that happen again? Or how do you adjust that? He said, adjust? We won. I don't care. I struck out 4 times. We won.
Yeah, we do sometimes forget the big picture, don't we?
Yeah.
Blanco now a full count. 10 runs, 15 hits for the Giants. 3 big innings. And handcuff the Braves tonight. And there's strike 3. Blanco continues to ride the offer. He's 0 for 5. 10-2 is your score. Time for the stretch. is, as we suspected, back out there with this big lead. His pitch count very reasonable. He hasn't had much stress. Fans try to chop and chant their way back into this game. 10-2 your score with Johan Camargo in the batter's box and down a quick strike. He lifts that one to right field. Pretty well hit. McCutcheon going back to the track. Leaps up against the wall and has just enough room for out number one.
The last two have been hit right up against the fence. Bautista and now Camargo.
So Lucas Sims will be taken down here in the 7th inning. Lucas went 3 2/3 innings. Those are valuable innings for Atlanta. He did give up a couple of runs. He walked 1, hit a batter, and struck out 6. So here's Charlie. Culberson came on as a pinch hitter last night and picked up another hit. That gave him 3 hits in 2 games. Had 2 hits in the final game in New York, including his first Braves RBI. This one's hammered toward the right center field gap. Hernandez, though, got an excellent jump. And 2 are away. And Ender Inciarte 0 for 2.
Ender looking for his first hit in the series.
Down and away for Inciarte, ball 1. Well, one of the storylines of the night was Block versus the Dodgers and Block versus everybody else. He turned that around with a ton of run support. 2-0, a 1.59 ERA against the Dodgers, 0-3 against the rest of baseball this year.
And what he's done since he got the big lead after they got their 9th run in the 4th inning, he's just been throwing strikes. He's using all his pitches. He's not just throwing fastballs down the middle, breaking ball, change up, but throwing strikes.
And that's where it all starts, doesn't it? 2-2 pitch. He is rolled slowly right side. Hansen fields and fires quickly. Nice play. Ender's retired. So is Atlanta. And Block has retired. 1, 2, 3 innings worth of Braves in perfect fashion. We go to the 8th. 3. Call 404-577-9100. Press option 1. 10-2 San Fran in game 2. Giants will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. Top to bottom, Joe, this Giants lineup has had a great night tonight.
And they did last night when they put that 6th spot on the board in the 2nd inning last night. They pretty much took the Braves out of their game. Atlanta just not used to having that happen to their starting pitching, and tonight they did it to Brandon McCarthy.
McCarthy gave up 8 runs in 3 1/3 innings to San Francisco. A club that's quite honestly had his number, and not just as a Brave. As Shane Carl is back, this is a good sign for the Braves relief corps.
Especially when you see those numbers. 0.96 ERA. Almost a strikeout per inning pitched.
Ball 1 strike from McCutchen, who's been on base 4 times, 3 hits, a hit by pitch, and he scored twice. One ball, 1 strike. And McCutchen, a late swing. He was fooled.
Got to be a big sense of relief for Shane Carl in live action, not just feeling okay in the bullpen, but cutting it loose out on the mound here.
Numbness in his fingers was the problem that took him out of his last game, as this one skied towards center. When we got that shot of him on the mound, he kind of snapped his fingers, and I thought at the time he was saying he felt something snap because he looked right down at his forearm. Fortunately, on Tuesday that wasn't the case, but he immediately called for the Braves training staff to come out and talk to him. Couldn't feel his fingertips. And after running a battery of tests, he's been given a clean bill of health, and here he is.
It's weird. It described it as the numbness being in the index finger and the thumb is a lot better than numbness in the ring finger and little finger. One indicates elbow problems. That would be the ring finger and pinky, and not the elbow on the other. Very odd.
Buster Posey, the batter, with 1 out. He's got a 3-hit night. He was fooled. That's on the field of the bat.
Needed that to hit the lip of the grass and kick it back.
That would have been great.
0-2.
San Francisco Giants celebrating a milestone year this year. Their 60th season in San Francisco. No balls, 2 strikes. Look how differently baseball would be perceived and played had the Dodgers and Giants not moved from Brooklyn and New York.
Somebody else would have.
Rumor has it the St. Louis Browns were going to be first team to go west. 1-2 pitch. Of course, they had the Pacific Coast League, which was in and of itself a very successful, I should say, third league, with the San Francisco Seals, San Diego Padres among the teams out there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The story I heard was that Bill Veeck, whose family owned the Browns, was in talks to take the Browns west, and they had a big meeting set up with the Pacific Coast League to make arrangements for a major league franchise to come to California, but a historic world event interrupted that meeting, which was to have taken place December 7th, 1941. Sharply hit. Nice play by Freddie. It trickles out of his glove, but Carl got to the bag, and from the seat of his pants, Freddie Freeman takes away a hit from Buster Posey. That was pretty.
That was pretty. Even had to scramble for the loose baseball to make a good throw.
Freddie has a toddler at home. He's got the crawling play down. I would think it's safe to say.
Well, that was nice.
And here's Belt, 2 walks. He's scored twice on the base on balls. He's also knocked in a run.
That Coast League in those days was so good that there were players who declined showing up for a big league purchase if a big league team purchased them from, like, the Hollywood Stars or the Seals. No thanks.
I'm good.
Yeah. Pay difference wasn't all that great in those days.
1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. See, there was a team in, was it Tacoma? Were the Rainiers in the back then?
I don't know. Only ones I am familiar with were the Stars, the Seals, the Padres.
Oakland Oaks, I think, was a team out there.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike. I guess the closest approximation to guys not wanting to go, maybe, and I say this tongue in cheek. Remember when the Pirates had their AAA team in Honolulu?
Yeah.
Well, son, you didn't cut it here in Pittsburgh. I think you need a couple months of seasoning at AAA.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, right. What were those road trips like? You played in Hawaii, didn't you?
Not for a season, no.
But I mean, you played.
They were in the league.
You played series there, right?
Uh-huh.
How was that travel?
Delightful.
The pitch is skied towards center. Fender got a good jump. He's going to get there. And we say aloha to the Giants in the 8th.
The going was great. The coming back, not so much.
Okay. Of the Atlanta order. 12 up, 12 down for Block after Batista's 4th inning hit. So he's finishing with a flourish. And before we get too deep in the game tonight, I want to thank our friends at Delaware North who were so generous to our upstairs broadcast crew. Brought a whole fiesta's worth of great Mexican food for us tonight on Cinco de Mayo. A line drive by Albies on a 1-strike count. That gives him another multi-hit game. He's 2 for 4.
Yeah, they took good care of us, Delaware North.
So our thanks to those guys. They took care of us, took care of the Giants broadcasters, and made a disappointing ball game, as I said, festive and fun here at SunTrust Park. Here's Acuna. Ronald scored the 2nd Atlanta run. That was back in the 3rd. Braves has 6 hits. Acuna 0 for 3, 0 for 7 in the series. And a rocket Hit to short, one there, two there. Albies in no man's land. Another laser off Acuna's bat, and he's hitting it to the same spot every time. And Crawford, in self-defense, was able to spear it and start a double play.
Man, man. Crawford's halfway figured out how to get out of the way and just kind of play it off to the side.
That ball hit at 111.5 miles an hour. And he is not getting anything that is not on the barrel. He just hasn't found a hole yet. So 2 outs for Freeman, who's 0 for 3, one of the 2 Atlanta RBIs. And that one's lined into center. And Hernandez misplayed that. Was it knuckling?
No, he misplayed it. He was coming in on it and misjudged it. And missed it. That's his second error in 2 nights. I mean, hit him in the wrist. Like we said last night, they've been searching for a center fielder for a while.
So the Giants have another error in this game. That's 3 more tonight after 2 last night. They had 3 originally. 1 was taken away and turned into a hit. And a strike to Markakis, who's got 2 hits in 3 tries. Well, Block has given Bruce Bochy exactly what he wanted. A lot of innings. The offense gave him what he wanted too. He's about to make his 100th pitch. The pen should be fresh and ready. As Markakis getting greedy, has a 3rd hit. Freeman's around second. He's on his way to 3rd. And Kurt Suzuki's coming up.
Get them while they're hot. Nick just piling them up.
44 hits for Markakis now.
It might be the end of the night for Block.
It's going to be. Well, he was very impressive.
7 2/3 again against Atlanta.
Yep. And 2 runs again against Atlanta. He's also surrendered 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 hits, 1 more than Atlanta got against him May 27th. So an almost identical performance for Ty Block, who had a lights out performance here in game 2. Tomorrow it'll be the home debut of Mike Soroka. That'll be exciting. The young Canadian pitched a beauty against the New York Mets in his big league debut. Join us at 1 o'clock on Fox Sports South. Game streams live on Fox Sports Go. Brave Live gets it started. Then Joe and I will have the 3rd and final game of the series as we sneak a peek at Corey Guerin, the former Brave.
Fastball slider change. And to try to finish things up. A lot of walks in there in 10+ innings for Corey. He's usually a guy, just a matchup guy, get out of an inning, and that's what he's in here for this.
And a broken bat roller hit toward third. Longoria at the bag makes the play. Guerin throws one pitch, and the Braves are out of luck in the 8th. 10-2. We go to the 9th. Unfortunately, the Giants haven't cooperated, and we will bring you Braves Live presented by Xfinity after we wrap up Game 2 here inside SunTrust Park. Nick Markakis gets the rest of the night off. Why not? 3 for 4 at the plate. Preston Tucker gets some playing time. AJ Minter will come on and pitch the 9th inning after Shane Carl worked a perfect 1-2-3/8.
No wins or losses so far for AJ Minter. Good ERA, very good ERA. Strikeout per inning just about. Great average against 182, just the walks 10.
38,264 fans paid to see Game 2 tonight. As it stands, Block and McCarthy the pitchers of record. Giants lead by 8. Here's Evan Longoria. He's doubled, scored a run, knocked in a run, and has struck out 3 times. Block threw 100 pitches in his start, 71 strikes.
Nice job by Lucas Sims. Gave the Braves what they needed out of the bullpen to suck up some innings, 3 2/3 innings. And after the first batter he faced that he walked, wound up striking out 6. That was the only walk he issued.
2 balls, no strikes. Bases empty in the 9th. Colorado just beat the Mets. That's a final 2-0.
Wow.
Nothing going right for New York. There's a strike. Remember, the Mets started the year 11-1. They were the toast of baseball. Their faithful were sizing up the rings in the East. After that 11-1 start, they're 6-13. Full count for Longoria. Washington was beaten by the Phillies. If our score holds, the Phillies will move to within a game of the Braves in the divisional race. And that's lifted right side. Freddie on his horse won't get there. And Longoria another full count. Sharply hit toward third. Nice pickup by Bautista. And his throw a little high, and Freddie kept a toe hold on the bag.
Always nice to have a guy 6'5" standing over there on top of the base with a big first baseman's glove. That's a nice target. So far, so good for Jose over there.
Here's Crawford. A 2-run double highlighted his night. And he didn't get that. Strike one. So you know about Mike Soroka for Atlanta. Braves will face another left-hander here tomorrow. Andrew Suarez, his third major league start. Suarez has taken the spot of Johnny Cueto in the Giants rotation. 0-2 pitch. Suarez started May 1st, got a no decision, went 7 innings, and gave up 2 runs on 4 hits to the Padres. Broken bat, that's hit over third.
He's good at that.
He is. He's had a couple of broken bat hits. I want to call the rep and get some better lumber, or maybe not. If you keep getting hits.
Yeah. Well, that split right down the length of the bat. Played in college at UCLA with Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is married to his sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wonder how he hits against Garrett Cole. Nobody else is hitting him. Maybe he gets a family break. As Alan Hansen's up there, he's got 2 hits, a homer, a double, 4 RBIs. And he takes low, 2 balls, no strikes. And a good rip. 2 balls and a strike. Hansen getting a lot of playing time because Joe Panik is hurt. Panik's a good player. A left thumb sprain, surgery Monday, out 6 weeks to repair a torn ligament.
Ooh.
Here's Mr. Panik. 2-1 pitch. And that's fouled away. It's 2-2.
It's a tough break. I mean, all these thumb injuries we've been seeing recently have been results of headfirst slides. I don't know about Joe Panik's. He's a good player and they'll miss him, but this guy's swinging the bat great right now.
And that's another sign of a good team. One of your main guys goes down, someone else steps up and plays well. Gives you a good idea of the Giants' organizational depth. And Hansen's had a good run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that's hammered towards center. Ender on the run, still going. He's going to get there. Hansen hit that ball hard, but he's retired. There's the second out. Three more hits for Gorkis Hernandez tonight. The Giants with 15 of them. Excuse me, 16 of them. I beg your pardon. That's the most for them in a 9-inning game this year. They had 17 hits against the Dodgers on April 7th. That game lasted 14. The 10 runs they've scored matches their season high. They did that to Seattle.
Well, they had 9 last night, so they're on a pretty good run.
Yeah, well, this is what the Braves ran into in Cincinnati. First 2 games against the Reds and then rallied. Finished with an excellent road trip. Down and in. Braves went 7-3 on their trip to Cincinnati, Philly, and New York, but are on the verge of dropping the first 2 games here at home.
Last game they played at home, they scored 9 on San Diego.
They've got it working.
Yeah, 9, 9, and 10. I'd say so.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Kurt Suzuki asked Jordan Baker to move to the third base side of second base with the left-hander on the mound. And now the payoff pitch. Runner goes. It is bounced up the middle. And Johan to his left throws to first and not in time. Hernandez has a 4-hit game.
Camargo was playing him way over in the hole to his right. He had a long way to go to get it. Can't even see him in the picture there. He's got a good arm. Oh, bang, bang.
Why not take a look?
Yeah.
You get the call overturned, you get out of the inning. And every pitch you save Minter tonight is a pitch you might be able to use tomorrow in game 3 of the series. Let's take another look at the super duper slow-mo.
Good stretch by Freddie.
I don't know if there's enough there to.
It's about as much a tie as I can see, and
Yep.
They're not going to overturn that, I wouldn't think.
Marquis Hernandez does have a 4-hit game in the major leagues. It was last July 14th. And the call is confirmed. He is safe. So the former Brave has had himself a big night at SunTrust Park. So Nick Hundley's going to grab a bat. He'll stand in for Corey Guerin. They give Hundley a lot of credit. He's done a nice job. As you mentioned, when Buster Posey moves over to play first base, they can plug Hundley in behind the plate. He had a 4-hit game on Wednesday. And he lines one into left field, a base hit. Here comes Crawford around to score. Going first to third is Hernandez. The throw way off target. And the Giants have him first and third. Another 3-hit inning for them. And Hundley just keeps on rolling along. He knocked in 4 runs on Wednesday. He's got a pinch hit RBI on the first pitch he sees tonight.
He's 8 for his last 10 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. So yeah, he's taking full advantage of any opportunity.
And you know who the happiest guy was going to be?
Yeah,
Gregor Blanco. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to pinch hit for him.
Oh.
So Gregor Blanco, who is 0 for 5 in this game, the only Giant without a hit in their 11-run outburst, Instead, it'll be Kelby Tomlinson pinch hitting with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Minter gives up a run on 3 hits. The Giants have 18 safeties tonight. Dan has been, like Shane Carl, excellent in relief. Good strikeout to walk ratio.
Sorry, Chip. I'd call him the most dependable guy they've got down there, the most reliable in terms of consistency. He hasn't given up a hit in his last 7 outings. Obviously, no runs, 2 walks over that period, and 10 strikeouts.
That'll work. As the bespectacled Kelby Tomlinson digs in, he's seen lots of playing time with Panic out. And you're getting an idea from Bruce Bochy who might be playing tomorrow. Imagine you'll see Hundley in there. You might see Tomlinson in there. As Winkler fires a slider that Tomlinson missed. 0-2. The 1-2 pitch is launched to center. Ender on the run, still going, slowing near the track, and the native of Chickasha, Oklahoma, almost hit one out of the park. Giants get a run, 3 more hits. Last call for Atlanta in a 9-run game. Hasn't been much of a party for Atlanta, and it's not going to be easy in the 9th inning, down 9 runs. This is Reyes Moranta out of Santiago of the Dominican Republic. This guy has the highest average velocity of any Giants pitcher on their current roster, and he's in his 14th game.
Well, that must mean he can bring it. 95 to 97 on average. Slider, and doesn't really want to throw a changeup, but does on occasion.
Shelby Tomlinson's into play second. Nick Hundley's behind the plate. Hansen moves to left. As Gregor Blanco's out of the game as he was pinch hit for. And Jose Bautista leads off.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Knock out the lawnmower.
Moranta got into 7 games for the Giants last year, struck out 11 in 6 2/3 innings. That certainly opened some eyes. Big guy, 5'11", 241 pounds. Three balls, no strikes. And 4 pitches that weren't even close. And I'm sure Hundley's going to walk to the mound and speak in his best Spanish. We have a 9-run lead. And Johan Camargo's the hitter. He's 0 for 3.
And I just came in the game too, and I don't want to see it.
Right. He's missed with 5 in a row. Well, get your rally sombreros on Cinco de Mayo. 11-2, 1 on, nobody out. Six in a row off the plate.
That got Bochy off the bench.
He's thrown 8 straight balls, and the Braves have back-to-back walks.
Kurt Young is the new pitching coach for the Giants this year. Dave Righetti was for many years, and now they're going to send the trainer out to check on Reyes, and Hundley's waving him out too.
Easy transition for Kurt Young. He had been the pitching coach for Oakland 15 of the last 16 years. So his office right across the bay. And Moranta is not going to be able to continue. That's a shame. And that for San Francisco puts a damper on what's been a terrific night. Their hardest throwing reliever leaves after throwing 8 straight pitches out of the strike zone. And San Francisco has to go into its pen again. They lead 11-2. We'll see who the new reliever will be in a moment.
used or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, there's a look at Pierce Johnson, 6'2", 200-pounder out of Arvada, California, and Missouri State University, a former Cub farmhand who was designated for assignment September of last year, and the Giants scooped him up a week later. Last season, he got to the major leagues for one game and one inning. He gave up 2 unearned runs. This year, pitching for the Giants, he's done good work, and he'll have as much time, Joe, as he needs after Moronta left after throwing 8 straight balls and walking the first 2 Atlanta hitters in the 9th.
Low to mid 90s for Johnson and a curveball. Ten to 2 in the 9th inning. I'm almost prompted, if I'm the manager, to say, who's our fastest guy to warm up?
Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
He's already pitched in relief, and he got 3 outs in like 2 minutes and 15 seconds the other day for San Francisco. I mean, he was throwing pitches every 8 seconds.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering who can get loose the fastest, and it may be him.
It might be. Check this out. Look how fast he worked on April the 28th. Ground ball out. Piece of cake. Ground ball out. Piece of cake. Ground ball out. 3 pieces of cake. And a big smile in what was a rough day for the Giants. But what a thrill for you position players to get a chance to pitch and have a little success. That was great.
Good for him. Made short work out of him.
So Preston Tucker is the Atlanta hitter. 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. And a good cut by Tucker, fouled straight back. It's 0-1. There's that fastball Joe was talking about. A Pierce arrow, as it were, at 95 miles an hour. Off the top of your head, what's the biggest comeback you ever took part in as a professional player?
I don't remember.
Did you ever have a 9
specifically?
runner?
Yeah, I think there was some 8 or 9s.
One ball, one strike. I mean, the odds of it happening are so impossibly high in this era of specialization. But
yeah. Well, there's an old saying in the dugout, you know, hey, let's 7 in the 7th or 8 in the 8th, or let's give them 9 in the 9th, give them a finish. What do you say? You know, just throw that out there.
2-1 pitch. He is fouled back by Tucker. 2-2.
I was just looking at Greg Gibson's mask. You see it there in the picture. I'm happy to see them make some adjustments, some changes in their mask. You could barely see his face for all the padding, especially in the lower part, in an effort to try to stem some of the concussion issues for the umpires.
I know that's something Joe West has been involved with the umpires, and that's remodeling the masks. You see the, what you call them, fender flares on the sides and down below to protect the neck area. Mask looks bigger than it used to be for the umpires, and you're right, so much more padding. As Johnson's gone 3-2 to Tucker here, and he lifts that one to straightaway center. Hernandez is in, and he's got it for out number 1. And here's Ender Inciarte. Ender's 0 for 3. Hasn't been himself in this series. 0 for 6. Second straight game, Atlanta scored first. Usually that's good news for the Braves. Problem is the second inning against the Giants has been real rough. Giants have 8 second inning runs combined in the first 2 games. And then today they broke the game open with 4 in the third, 3 in the fourth. And strike 1 for Ender. 2 on, 1 out. And that's up and away. Ball 1, strike 1.
Ender has had a couple of walks since that home run he hit in New York, but he hasn't had a hit since then.
There's a liner to second, flip to second, and Crawford grazed the top of the bag. And Bautista wandered too far off the sack, and he's doubled up, and that's the ball game. The San Francisco Giants have come to Atlanta and have won the series. The Braves will try to avoid a sweep tomorrow, and they will send rookie Mike Soroka to the hill to try to salvage 1 out of 3. 18 hits too many tonight, Joe, and Brandon McCarthy falls from the ranks of the unbeaten.
And it's early runs too, and a ton of them makes it for mentally tough for the Braves to come back and try to add up to all those runs that the Giants are pounding out.
San Francisco has scored 20 runs in 2 games. Atlanta will try to slow them down tomorrow. We'll recap game 2 on Braves Live presented by Xfinity. Jerome and Brian Jordan are standing by out on our Braves Live set here at the Battery Atlanta.